Hey guys, check out Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp, a fully updated second edition, reviewed and revised by an expert panel of certified Italian wine ambassadors from across the globe. The book also includes an edition by Professore Attilio Scienza, Italy's leading vine geneticist. To pick up a copy today, just head to Amazon.com or visit us at mamajumboshrimp.com. Welcome to this special Italian wine podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinepodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Hello everybody, my name's Stevie Kim. This is the Italian Wine Club on Clubhouse. It is now called a house. I'm a little confused. What's the situation like?
Yeah, so the Italian wine room is now, all the rooms in general are now turned into a house.
How does the lounge area work? How does that work?
It's more of a live room.
Mm-hmm.
So when you feel like you wanted to just talk to people who subscribed into Italian Wine House, you can just start a room.
I wonder why they did this, but it's a little bit annoying because now we do have to always record it on the roadcaster, or some other means. And one of the best thing about the Clubhouse, we still use it as a recording platform because the quality of the audio on Clubhouse platform, I think it's absolutely fantastic. All right, let's get on to the show. I'll stop complaining. I'm becoming very Italian. I was at the University of Verona today and talking to the students, and I said, oh my God, I think there's this one characteristic about all Italians is that they love to complain. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So let me just stop that right away. So today, our Ambassador's Corner is with, of course, our mod squad, Sheila Donohue. Ciao, Sheila.
Hey.
Hi, how are you? Where are you?
I'm in California.
Yeah, I never know when you're in Italy or you're stateside. Whereabouts in California?
So I'm at my company's office and warehouse in Ventura.
Ah, what's the weather there like now?
It's we're going towards the Maigret, so it's cloudy.
Uh-huh. You had some crazy weather recently, right? It was snowing and it was cold, right?
Yeah, February was just awful.
Right. Did you come to Vinitaly?
No.
You missed it this year.
We had a stand at the WSWA conference.
Oh, how was that? How did that go?
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was the same. I know it took place at the exact same dates, and also Steve couldn't come. I remember about that.
Steve there.
Yeah, you did. Okay. Yeah. So, you're originally a New Yorker, right? Mm-hmm. And then you've been living in Italy. Whereabouts in Italy?
In Bologna.
In Bologna. And now you're back in California.
Yes. Yeah, I started my company in California instead of New York because I wanted to basically, we focus on small producers that people don't know about, and so we want to offer the possibility for anyone, whether you're a business or consumer, to get your hands on these unknown wines, ripe for discovery. So with that, we also want to do direct to consumer.
Ah, okay.
As well as selling to distributors and wine stores and restaurants.
So have you got a website? Is it called VeroVino?
Yes, VeroVino.com.
Okay. And how many SKUs, how many wines are you carrying at the
We
moment?
have probably close to 100 now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're importing them directly yourself?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we are, there's a small team of us that, basically people that, work with my company, work with me. But yeah, we import them directly and then sell them.
Fantastic. And is Aldo Clerico one of your producer?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So, other than being your supplier, why did you select Aldo Clerico out of your entire portfolio? Why did you choose Aldo?
So, the reason why I chose him is because, of course, he makes really good wines. He's in the Barolo wine country, so they're fabulous red wines. But I remember when I first visited him in Monforte d'Alba, and I found myself talking more about life rather than wine, and that's why I chose him. I just find him to be really down to earth, and of course not knowledgeable and talented, but just an endearing person.
So, we are crazy about learning objectives, right? Because it is part of the VIA community. What are you thinking in terms of learning objectives from this call with Aldo today?
So Aldo, you'll find out when we talk with him, but he comes from a storied family of wine producers. But in his family, he was the first to make wine in his immediate family. So we'll hear about how he came about to make wine and his decisions in terms of his vineyard and winemaking techniques.
Okay, very good. I'm looking forward to your conversation. I just wanted to remind everyone, especially to our listeners at Italian Wine Podcast, because we have a small group here today, but we do replay all of our calls at the Ambassador's Corner on Italian Wine Podcast, and they are absolutely one of the more popular shows, and that's ItalianWinePodcast.com, and you can find us wherever you get your pods. And I would like to ask for a small favor. If you can go and also rate our shows, that would be fantastic. So over to you, Sheila, and I will mute myself and come back towards the end of the program to see if there are any questions. Okay?
Alrighty. Okay, so Aldo Clerico, who we'll be speaking with, I'll be talking to shortly, he likes to call himself a farmer, more so than a wine producer. And he makes Barolo wines and also Dolcetto, Dogliani, Barbera, and Lang Nebbiolo wines in Monforte d'Alba. So when you go to visit him, let's say you're coming from the town of Barolo, you go south about maybe 15 minutes, and then you turn right at Domenico Clerico's winery. And his winery and home is just a little bit down on your right-hand side. So that gives you a little bit idea in terms of some, where he's located and someone that he is related to. So Aldo, you can unmute yourself. I'm going to start asking you some questions. Aldo? Let's see. Aldo, you there? Hello?
Hi, Aldo. There's a microphone button on the lower right of the screen. You just have to press that to unmute yourself. Great.
You understand me? Everything is okay?
Yes, I hear you, Aldo. Hey,
Okay. Hi,
you're
everybody.
are you outside right now?
If you want, if you prefer, I go outside
Oh no,
because
it's
I
okay.
think
I can hear you now pretty
it's
clearly.
okay.
Yes?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, Aldo, tell us what it was like as a kid growing up in Monforte d'Alba. Did you help your father and grandfather in the vineyards? And what were your first memories as a child in the vineyards and at harvest?
Okay. Me, I'm very lucky, guys, because I live in a very special place called Monforte d'Alba. It's one of the villages of the area of Parolo, and it's a very lovely area. Uh, Me, I was to start to make wine in 2004. I studied for another job, and but when I was little, I helped so much my mommy, my daddy, and my grandparents to work in Vigna because it's not a job for me, but it's a passion. So much different. I remember when I was little, I enjoyed too much to go to have harvest with my parents. Is a for me is a fair, is a party, is very lovely time with my parents. I enjoy so much. You understand?
Yeah, Aldo, is there a specific memory that you have as a child in, helping your family in the vineyards or at harvest?
Yes, it's a very good experience for me. It was a very good experience, and I like so much to do it. With my family, with my mom and daddy, are so much lovely time. And because my family have vineyard, they make grapes, but they sell the grapes for other winemaker. And about some year, I decided to stay at home and build into new cellar. When I was little, I remember a lot of these vintage. With my grandfather was a very special grandparent, and was so much lovely.
And what did your grandfather do for a living?
My grandfather was a fireman, but he have sometime he helped my mommy and my grandparents to work at home. Normally he do the work with the tractor. And my granddaddy, my parent, have vineyard to make grapes, but they sell the grape for other winemaker in this area. My grandfather and me, we have Dolcetto, Barbera, and Nebbiolo Grapes. We have in totally 6.5 hectares of property.
And then you decided to study to become an accountant. Why did you decide to become an accountant? And then what made you decide to not work anymore as an accountant?
Okay, when I decide what school to study, I was a stupid guy, a very stupid guy, and I tried to make an accountant. I finish the school and I go to do it for less 1 month. After I decide this is not my job because I don't like too much work in an office. People have no passion. I'm not free. And about less 1 month, I decided to stop to do it and start a new life. First, I go to work in some cellar in some cellar in Tisara, and after I stay at home. Me, my job is not a job, but it's a passion. When I think when the job is a passion, I'm not so much tired. It's a different. It's not a job. It's a passion. It's very different. It's not so much tired. It's a lovely job.
So when you decided to become a winemaker, you were an apprentice, so a stagista, at your father's cousin's winery, which is Domenico Clerico. And what did you learn from that experience working at Domenico Clerico's winery?
Okay. I work in some cellar 5 years first to start me, and more 1 year I work to Domenico Clerico. Domenico Clerico was the cousin of my daddy, and it was a very good teacher for me because I think he learned me a lot of things. He transmitted me the passion for the wine and for the vineyard. And to Domenico, I learned a very simple rules to make a good wine. With a good grapes, it's very easy to make a good wine. With a bad grapes, it's impossible make a good wine. It's very simple rules, but more important of my job for the quality of the wine. And I learn a lot of things. I don't study for the wine. I learn with job are different, and I was very lucky because Domenico Clerico explained me we do it because why. He learned me the secret for a good wine, and after I started to make wine. For example, the fermentation are more similar than Domenico, but for example, for my tasting, I don't like too much new barric. And for this, for example, in all my wine, it's a blend of different barric and barrel. Some are not so much new, and some small part are new. Because for my tasting, so much wood in wine, I don't like so much. But this is my opinion.
And you follow the moon, so the lunar cycles in
Yes,
in your vineyard and your winemaking. And why is that?
yes. For more work in the cellar and the vineyard, we look the phase of the moon. Because here in this area is more traditional look the moon. Is my daddy, my granddaddy, and more parent ago look this, and me they continue to look this. Because my wine is not that died, is not pasteurized. I don't kill the wine. We have a continual evolution, and for this, for more job, we look the moon. For example, when we put the wine in bottle, normally we prefer the old moon, not in a new moon and not in a full moon, because all the traditional in this area, if I put the wine in this two phases of the moon, new and full moon, the life of the wine I become so much shorter. And maybe when I put in full moon, when you taste the wine, you have a little sensation of bubble, and in my red wine are not so much good. And normally, because in the old moon at the best period for the life of the wine become more longer, and you have less problem of oxidation for the wine. And this moon, this phase of moon, we look at the same when we work in vineyard. For example, during winter, when we cut the plant and some part go in the soil, we look the moon. Normally, we prefer in the younger moon or full moon because the new plant, the next year it become more stronger. We need a stronger plant. After, if they have more grapes, no problem because during summer we cut the grapes if the plant have more and they put in the soil. Normally it's job to me and my mom and daddy and my wife because we know exactly the way the plant will look each of these.
Okay. And you've said that every wine you make needs to pass your taste test before releasing. What do you look for in a wine, and how do you know it is ready to release?
But because I think the first client of Aldo Clerico I knew And for this, when I put the wine in bottle, I want enjoy me, not about I hope some people in the world have the same taste in mind, but first for me, because I meet the first client and on the bottle I put my label with my name. And if I don't like this wine, it's very difficult to me to present for other client. I don't, it's not so good for me. And normally the first client I'm me. For example, for Nebbiolo, I like, for my tasting, I like strong tannin, and normally all the Nebbiolo have more tannin because I like it too much.
And what about your Barbera?
My Barbera, for example, is one of the grapes we have in Zara, and in my case, Barbera stay more 1 year in wood, but I don't call with the name Superiore because when I start to make wine, I not use this name. And at the moment for me, it's not necessary to use this name. A lot of people think is the best, but maybe. But in my case, I don't want to create confusion of the clients. I think that the best for the client is not the name, but what in the glass. When they tasting, they enjoy, they love, are the best, then I write in the label superior or not. It's not necessary for me. And for example, my Barbera stay more 1 year in wood, is more than superior in wood, but I prefer the put. And I put, for example, in my case, I make only a classical Barbera, I'm free to use wood or not, but for me, I prefer putting wood because it change, it become a little bit sweet tannin, more soft, little spice, and each of these cover your sensation of acidity when you're tasting. Because Barbera, when it's young, is more acid, more difficult to drink. If I don't put in wood, not only in steel tank, the acidity are the same, don't change. It's very difficult to drink. Maybe you taste some young Barbera, you have a little bit problem of stomach edge. If I put in wood, this sensation of wood, a little bit of spice, cover your sensation, but the acidity there are.
You also said before that you don't want new barrique, you don't want new oak. And why is that?
I don't, every year I change a little bit the numeric, but not so much, because for my tasting I don't like when you taste a wine a lot of wood in the glass. I prefer the fruit of the wine. I don't like so much this, and for this I don't use so much wood. And in my cellar there is some part wood and some part bad. For example, barberas it's a mix, a small quantity in barrel and some part in barrel. Uh, and because for my tasting, too much food I don't like for me.
Okay, and I know that you make 3 Barolos,
Yes.
and there's one Barolo in particular that is the most special for you, which is the Ginestra Barolo.
Yes.
So why is it so special?
Barolo Ginestra we started to make in 2004, and for me is a hurt wine because for the label I used to add my little principles, Martina and Melissa, my song, and I became ready for the first time in 2004, and this year uh, start with the new vintage of Barolo Ginestra and decide to make a label with the name of Martina and Melissa. And for me is my best wine. And this wine arrived from a special crew in called Ginestra. Is the vineyard of my mother-in-law because today, some day ago, start to sell me some grape from this special vintage. And every year I'm very lucky because I decided first to start to make to take the grapes to harvest and go the day first and decide what is the best for me, and I cut and go home for vinification. And this wine for me is my little baby.
And tell us who your mother-in-law's father is.
Okay. I make this wine from Ginesto because my mother-in-law have some vineyard here. Some years ago, my mother-in-law was one of the best sellers in this area, but in 2014 he decided to sell 15% of seller wine, everything, but he take 15% of the vineyard because my wife have a brother who needed to work. And at the moment he stopped to make wine and he sell the grapes me and the other winemaker called Paolo Conterno from Ginestra.
So just a quick comment, but I think what's really cool about Ginestra too, it's the combination of your family and your wife's family, right?
Yes, it's the vineyard of my mother-in-law.
So what have you found to be the benefits and also challenges of having relatives nearby that make wine similar to you?
Allora, me, I'm a little winemaker and I like too much to stay little. Because me, first to be a winemaker, I'm a farmer, and I love this job. Uh, because if I stay little, for me, I have a lot of cure, more time to go in linear, in the cellar. I have a lot of time to do it. If I become a lot more bigger, for me it is a problem going linear because I'm not a farmer. I need to become a businessman because if I make more bottle, I need to go a lot of ways to sell. I prefer stay little to have more tool in my farmer. And I love the
And tell us a little bit more about your decision to not put Superiore on your Barbera d'Alba label.
because me, for example, of this wine, I make a very small little quantity of this bottle. It is impossible to make two wine with all these grapes. And I think Superiore or Barbera d'Alba are the same. I think it's the client who decides what is the best, this or another. It's not necessary the name. I think people they don't need to drink with the eyes, but with the tasting at the best.
Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp.
And tell us about the other Barolos that you make.
Okay, I make three kind of Barolo. The last, my more special is from Ginesto, but I make other two kind of Barolo. The first Barolo is a classical Barolo, is a blend of different vineyards, and all the vineyards arrive from the village of Monforte. All the wine in this bottle are Nebbiolo from Barolo, the best vineyard, and are the same vintage. It's impossible to put different vineyard, different vintage in Barolo. And it's a blend because every year of this wine we have 3-4 vineyard, different vineyard. During harvest, we separate the vineyard. We have the same fermentation, but different result because normally different vineyard have different wine. When finish a fermentation, they stay separated with cleaning, and we put in wood, some part in barric and some part in a little in barric. All this line is a 3-4 kind of Barolo, stay separated. about 2 years indeed, we put in still tank, and we decide what is the best or what are the best. Maybe it's possible. 1 year is one vineyard, next year another vineyard, or two vineyards together. Because, for example, one is the best for the tasting, the other is for the parfum, and the other is for extractor. When we decide what kind are the best, we blend, we make a lot of sample, and we taste it, and we decide what is the best for me. Is more fluid, more stronger, more powerful, and at the moment are some vintage are so much alcohol because the climate here become crazy. The other Barolo is called with the name Barolo from Serralunga. Is a singular vineyard from another village called Serralunga. Is a very structured, very tanning, very clean tanning, and more spice, and stay only in barrel, not in barrick, but only in a big, for minimum 2 years. And after normally we put in bottle and we stay some month to rest in peace. I'm very little, but I love.
And your all of your Barolos come from an MGA, correct?
Yes, because for example, the classic Barolo is Barolo Bricco San Pietro, but I don't use the name. I make a classic Barolo, but if I want next year to use, I have no problem for this. In Serralunga, I run the vigne, and for me, it's not good to use the name because if the boss about 1 year he decide to sell, for me it's impossible buy because today the price of the Vino Barolo are more expensive, more crazy price because I write people to invest with investment, industrial people, they buy, they spend a lot of money, and for me, for normal people, it's impossible buy. And for this, I don't use the name from Serralunga, but the clue is Ceretta, but I don't use because maybe about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years stop to exist. This wine have no, maybe have no future. And for this, I prefer use the name of the village because about 1 year I stopped to rent because the old boss sell. I have a it probably to find another viña in the village of Serralunga. The name don't change because the most important the grapes arrive from the village for Serralunga, and they have a little bit more probably to found. In the same tree, are very impossible to find near, uh, and for this I don't use the name. Ginestra I use because I'm just married and I hope you don't divorce to me.
And speaking of your wife, how does she help you in your winery?
Okay, my wife has been in office, but for me it's perfect because I don't like working office to make invoice, answer email. No, it's not my job. I don't like, and when you have time, he had me for this, and I'm very happy with this because it's a job for me. I prefer go in Vigna. I'm free with the cat. Maybe something the cat come to me in Vigna. I'm very free. It's a very lovely work in Vigna or in the cellar. Office I don't like too much. Maybe if I need to do it, okay. But if possible, my wife do it, and for me it's the best.
It sounds like a match made in heaven, Aldo. So you mentioned before about the challenge of having your Barolo with a higher alcohol due to the climate change. Do you see any other ways, let's say, to combat the changes, the challenges
Okay.
that you're finding with climate change?
We use some method for the problem of climate because here the climate are so much crazy. This winter is not snow, it's strange. It has more months than rain. Here, everything is dry. It's a big problem for the plant, but for the human so much. Today, when we put the new plant, we make a new vineyard. Normally, we put the new plant have less problem for the dry. And during summer, we need to cleaning a little bit the grapes to need to cleaning because they need to take sunny. As some year they don't cleaning so much because if I cleaning so much I have a big problem. The sun burn the grapes and normally it may be probably these grapes when we make a wine have a little sensation of burned and for these are not so much good. And about some month ago, it's possible put irrigation for the vineyard. First are forbidden, but today are okay. But here there are a big problem. Where is the water? We don't find the water. I have some guys, they try to find water in the soil, but here there is a problem. When you try to find water in this place, you have a lot of more probability. You have a water with salt, and for the plant are not so much good. We try for raining and a normal climate.
And what about making wines with the changes due to the climate? What have you found in terms of the challenges?
The normal in a normal vintage, the harvest, for example, Nebbiolo start 10-15 October. But some in this year or last year, normally we cut the grapes early than a normal vintage because we don't need too much alcohol in the bottle. Last year, for example, some friends at the end of September finish. Me, I'm lucky man because I decide to waiting and the second, third October raining one day and for the plant are very good, are perfect because they take water but they take something with the soil and I was very lucky waiting.
Okay. All right. Well, those are all the questions I have. Shall we turn the questions over to the room?
Okay, I'm back. Hello. I've actually invited a couple of people to speak because they asked the questions, but they can come up or we can read their questions. I had invited. So Bev Burdine, she has a couple of questions. One is, what is so unique? Oh, she's now a speaker. Bev, why don't you ask your questions yourself?
Okay.
Bev, you got to turn on your mic. The right-hand bottom corner.
Hello there.
Hello there. How are you, Bev?
I'm fine. It's still morning here in Alberta, Canada.
How early is that?
It's 20 to 11.
Okay, so go shoot away your questions to Aldo.
Aldo,
Okay.
what makes the Ginestra soil so special, or is it its location with the sun?
Okay, in the soil from Ginestra are more stronger than in Mayara or than Serralunga. Ginestra have no sand in the soil. In Serralunga there are a little bit sand and a very special terroir for the very good wine. And maybe these vineyards are very older, are 16 years older, very older. And normally the old vineyards are the best than the new vineyard.
Okay, thank you. And
So
Aldo, because of the risk of sunburn, have you changed how you're doing your canopy management or green pruning for the grapes?
sorry, I can't understand. Sheila, help me in Italiano. In Italian, please.
Come se devi manipolare le foglie delle vigne per combattere il sole. Cosa fai con...
Allora, io te lo devo però dire in italiano, poi tu traduci perché qui io non lo so in inglese. Possiamo fare così?
Ok.
Allora, noi durante l'estate dobbiamo togliere i doppi, sarebbero i polloni. È tutto un lavoro che si fa a mano, diciamo, nella fascia grappolo, perché così il grappolo prende più luce, più raggi del sole. Negli ultimi anni questo lavoro viene fatto, ma togliamo meno polloni, le lasciamo un pochino più coperte dal sole, che siano un pochino più all'ombra, per evitare che il sole me le bruci.
So typically in the summer, he would be wanting more exposure to the sun, and in the last couple of years, they haven't done that. He's been wanting the grapes to be covered by the leaves.
Okay, thank you for the translation.
Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Okay, then I'm going to ask Paul. Paul Bologna. Ciao, Paul.
Ciao, everyone.
Where are you?
I'm actually in a hotel by the beach.
Of course, you're at a hotel by the beach. You have that special privilege that none of us have.
I'm waking up with my coffee and enjoying the chat. Well, my question is really kind of simple and straightforward, and I'm curious to know if Aldo feels the same way as maybe other vintners in the region. But the question is what is your favorite grape to work with in the vineyard, and is that the same grape that you enjoy working with in the cellar?
Okay, my best kind of grapes are Nebbiolo, because when I clean during summer, you have maybe you don't clean to go another time for cleaning a little bit. When I cleaning, stay cleaning during the green harvest. The other kind, more probably Dolcetto, we need to do it not only one time, but the second time. And Barbera, I don't like too much because it becomes too much dirty, the plant, and we need a lot of cleaning. Nebbiolo is more easy to work, and the variety are more stronger. They have less problem for dry, for anything. They have no problem. And my favorite wine in the cellar are the same, Nebbiolo, because we don't need a lot of work in the cellar. Normally we have a lot of work during harvest, during fermentation, but when finish a fermentation, the wine are okay. I know. Rest in peace. We don't need too much job, and we don't need more cleaning first going bottle, because they have in Nebbiolo, for Barolo, for example, they have 3 years for cleaning. Is more soft cleaning, and we don't need too much work for Nebbiolo.
Okay, thank you very much, Paolo. Listen, so Aldo, I have a couple of questions for you. My first question to you is, you keep on saying you're small, you're tiny. How small are you in terms of, the volume of production? I see that you have Dogliani, Dolcetto d'Alba, yes, Balbero d'Alba, Langhe, Doc, Barolo DOCG, and then you have the Ginestra and Barolo DOCG del Comune di Serralunga.
Yes, I
right?
have only 7 wine.
Right. How many bottles do you produce?
40,000 bottles.
In total?
That is in total, yes. Because me, I have a 6.5 hectare of property, and for me, it's the perfect. I don't want to become too much bigger.
And how big is your team? Like you said, you work also with your wife. Is that correct?
Yes, me, my wife, mommy, and daddy in the cellar or in office. In Vigna, we have a cooperativa. We have people from.
Okay, you have the co-ops. Yeah.
Yes, because in my job, you only have one or two. Is not so much good because some work, when, for example, about Sunday we start to work in Vigna, we have a lot of work and we have no more time to do it. And for this, maybe in this period we need a lot of people. Only one or two are not okay. About Sunday, come to me, for example, 8 to 10 people for 6 by day to finish all.
Okay. And so how are you organized? Who is doing what? What do you do exactly at the winery?
Normally, this guy stay here, here, and some son go to school from with my. At the moment, are Italian people. Our guys, they are more 10 years, lives here, and they do this job. They know what I want, and it's perfect for me because I very they work and they have no problem. But normally, some of us go in Vigna with this guy to control if something are not so good, and we work together with this guy.
So I say you're a small producer. How long have you been doing this? How old is your winery? About 20 years, you said?
I started in 2004. Is
almost your 20th anniversary. What was your first vintage?
Is 24. It's a very good vintage, very strepitosa vintage. It's very
fantastic.
Fantastic, yes. For me, I have another. It's my first vintage. For me, it's the one of the vintage of my earth.
So where you're only producing a small number of bottles. Where's your wine available mostly? Of course, Sheila is now importing your wine stateside. But yes. Where is your how are you distributing your wines? Because you have a very small quantity, right?
Yes, but a lot of my wine go out Italy. I sell a lot from Danimarca, something a lot from Germany, Belgium, from the Europe, and some other from Asia, but not so much from Asia. But I'm okay.
Yeah, you're happy being small.
Yes,
so
I think the most I'm happy. Me and my family are happy. After we don't need a lot of money. We are okay.
Okay. So Aldo, let me ask you another question. It's a bit cheeky, but how can you tell in a blind tasting, let's say you have, 5, 6, 7, 8 Barolos. How can you understand which one is your Barolo? Do you have a specific characteristic which is you can recognize that says, oh, I know that's my Barolo?
Sheila, translate for me, please.
Allora, se dovessi fare una degustazione a cieco, no? Come potresti riconoscere tra, non so, diciamo 6, 7, 8 bottiglie di Barolo, come puoi riconoscere il tuo Barolo? Con quale caratteristica che tu sei certo da dire, sì, questo è il mio?
Ok. Because in every bottle I put something on me. For example, for Barbera or Barolo, I like more tannin, and maybe probably my Barolo with more tannins maybe mine. And no more wood, you have more property is my wine for this. For example, my crazy one of the perfect vintage is 2016. Is a very special vintage. At the moment, it's so much younger than 17, for example. Every vintage are different. For example, normally a sunny vintage, the tannin are more soft, a little bit sweet, more soft, more easy to drink. And normally a sunny vintage is more easy to drink first than a normal vintage. And okay.
Okay, so I've invited John. he has a question. This is kind of the old times. We used to have everybody up on stage to ask a question. Today we had plenty of time left over, so we have some of our ambassadors at large. Hey, John.
Anyway, thank you. Aldo, quick question. In the proximity, you're in Monforte de Alba, and forgive me, I'm not very familiar with your style of wines, but in the proximity of Barolo Boy territory, do you consider yourself more of a traditionalist, more of a modernist, or somewhere in between? And what makes the difference for you?
Yeah, the guys called the Barolo Boys are no more traditional winemaker. For example, Domenico Clerico or Chiara Boschi are some of these guys. And they started more a year ago to use barrique. Barrique, first, him are not very traditional in this area. A lot of winemaker, very old style. They use not barrique, but they use barrel. They use big. Barolo Boys start with more barrique, but today some of these guys have barrique, but they have barrel too. Some years ago we have only barrique. For example, when I worked for Domenico Clerico, he have only barrique, for example. Today they change a little bit. They have barrique and they have big barrel. For me, I prefer a little bit not all new and not all old style, because I prefer stay in the middle, because barrique are good for something wine and barrel are good for other kind of wine. There are no, the barrique are the best or the barrel are the best. Each of these complete the wine.
Okay, I guess John, you were kind of asking. We had kind of the similar question, we just asked in a different way. So the answer is he's kind of in the middle. I think. Yeah, I guess we just have to try out your wine, Aldo. We are very curious now. I think, okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome in Piedmont. When you decide to come, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining us today. Let me give a small cheer. That's a little clap thank you very much for joining us. Sheila, thank you very much for inviting Aldo and moderating the call today. And Bev, Paul, John, I love this community because John, where are you now?
I'm actually having a nice cold beer sitting in front of the beach in Miami.
Oh my goodness. Are you guys trying to get me jealous? You're all at the beach. Isn't anybody working anymore? I don't know.
We are working right now. What do you call what we're doing at the moment?
Okay, all right. Sounds good. I'm going to bring back up Laika. Hey, Laika.
Hi, Stevie.
Okay, so who's on next?
Okay, next week, it's actually our 91st episode next week.
Crazy.
So we've got Pablo. He's actually one of the audience here. Pablo Fernandez. He will be interviewing Anderson Hernanes, or I think he's also called Il Profeta in the soccer world.
And is that Wednesday or Thursday?
Sorry, it's going to be on Friday, May 5 at 6.
Oh, next Friday. Okay, very good. Alrighty. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to sign off. Thank you very much. It's my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to run. It's good that we finished a bit earlier. And see you next week. Grazie ragazzi. Ciao Aldo, ciao Sheila, Bev, Paul, John, Laika. Ciao ragazzi.
Sniff, sniff, sip, sip, and spit. Once again, here we go. Swirl, sniff, sip, sniff. While you drink, don't forget these tasting tips. Swirl, swirl, sniff, sniff.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.